trading card games offer complex and nuanced battles between a variety of cards. With so many cards in a game, often a select few creep their way up to the top as being more powerful, warping the metagame around them. Sometimes a card may seem bad at first glance, but hold an interesting position relative to the most powerful cards in the format. But oftentimes, cards are just reminders that card design is an art form, and art can be very difficult. In this series, we're going to prove that we're champion level players by getting a win with even the worst designed Pokemon in existence. Using a wheel, we'll figure out which Pokemon we'll encounter for that day and set out to prove that we can win with any card. Will I crack under the pressure, or prove that I'm the champion deck builder I think I am? Find out on this episode of Pokemon Pocket Roulette. New episodes premiere Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 p.m. EST. What's up, everybody? Thanks for coming back for another episode of Pokemon Pocket Roulette. This is episode 3. We're going to go ahead and spin this wheel and see what Pokemon we're working with today. Let's give it a couple spins and see what we've got. We're going to be building a deck around Jolteon. Pretty decent. Let's hope we can get some flips going. Alright everyone, so here's the deck. We got Jolteon, who's an interesting little card. 2 electric energy to use its attack Pin Missile, which is going to deal 40 damage per heads up to 4 times, so potentially 160 damage. We can knock an Arceus out with some pretty easy good luck. We're going to go gambling. We went with the continuous step Eevee because it's just in line with the Jolteon. Let's see if we can get a little lucky. I paired it up with Aipom and Ambipom, 2 just kind of cards that hang out. They have fine synergy and have a similar thematic to Jolteon. That way we've got something else that we can pivot between. We're using the X speeds because they all have 1 retreat cost. We will probably have a surplus of energy, but the deck should be pretty consistent. Having only two stage 1s. We've got Sabrina to pull something in, Cyrus if we've chipped something with a coin flip here or there, and the double communicator should make it a lot more consistent. I'm on the fence about the tools. I do 1 of each. I think that could be Potion or something similar to it. There's not really a trainer I would want to put there in its place. And yeah, sometimes Rocky Helmet can really make the difference on some thresholds if we're getting unlucky. And Giant Cape, same thing, can make that difference. So let's get to battling. Alright guys, so we've got our first opponent found. It looks like it's going to be Ava with the really cool Erica icon. I ended up not picking it up that first season, and I don't know if I'm going to regret it or not. I think the Leafeon and Glaceon icons look super cool, or the coins. But we're going to be going second, which is really ideal for us. And we've got Aipom, but no Eevee to get the Jolteon rocking. So let's see what they end up going for. We're waiting, and yeah, so we've got the Aipom with the consistent tail jab damage. We'll at least be able to get damage on the board right away, which will help set up for Cyrus later. And if we draw Ambipom, we'll have plenty of opportunity to knock some things out while we're waiting to get Jolteon powered up. Now, I mean, it only takes 2 electric energy, so it won't take Jolteon very long at all. And I think with some good luck, we can kind of get some wins knocked out super quick. So we're finally picking. They're playing an electric deck, so they've got Pikachu EX. Luckily for us, we are going second. This deck is pretty formidable. They might be going the Electivire, an Electivire variant where they just are charging up Electabuzz and have it on the bench. Pikachu EX, one of those cards that will probably remain pretty consistent because all you need is different electric types, and the more electric basic Mon that are available, the better it kind of gets, but also the power creep's kind of there. So this is a great start. We're going to use research, draw our 2 cards. We've got Ambipom and we've got Pokeball. So if we can hit the 50-50 or the 67-33 for Eevee, perfect. So yeah, we're really just going to start popping some heads. Now, we also have the Giant Cape, which is super good, because what that's going to do is allow us to live a Pikachu 90 damage attack in 2 turns. Normally it would knock either one of them out, Jolteon or our Ambipom. We might save it for Jolteon, see what the damage thresholds are looking like, because we have the potential to deal 160 damage with Jolteon. We also have the potential to deal 0 or 40, and hopefully that won't be the case. They're going to potion up, so already our damage doesn't really matter, but yeah, we will probably end up, so we're going to go ahead and get Eevee powered up, get our Aipom going, and then there's that Jolteon. So we have 2 options. Now, the Ambipom can attack and potentially deal 80, but we are going to get knocked out by the Pikachu. So what we're going to hope for is with that we can at least hit 1. We really just need to hit 3 of our next 6 heads, and we should be good to go. So I'm going to save this cape for the Jolteon and go ahead and attack with the Ambipom. We'll flip our Eevee coin, 40 damage, that's awesome, and then we've got 40 more damage, perfect. So now we only need to hit 1. We had the option of Sabrina-ing to try to mess up their energy flow, but now their Pikachu's threatened, so he might be able to attack our Ambipom. We can knock it back out, and we just have the tempo advantage. Being able to go second, obviously very helpful. Had they have went second, we would have been on the back foot. A lot of Pocket seems like, you know, going second is just better overall. The ability to do the energy. Certain decks are designed in a way where you can go first or second and it doesn't hurt. And look at that, the second research. We're going to find that other Eevee. Get it rocking. There's the double communicators. I think I'm going to hold on to it. I really just want a Pokeball. There's no way for... Okay, if we get a bunch of tails, it could really be a problem here. But I am going to go ahead and cape up this Jolteon also, just in case. That way we'll at least last another turn. And hopefully one of our next 8 will be heads. So we've got the Pin Missile going. And honestly, this is just a lot of damage really quick. For 2 energy, I really feel like... I know when it first started out, there was a Pikachu EX version that was playing Jolteon with the Eevee, because the idea is that by stage 2... by the second turn, you could evolve it, and you would have it as a Mon to power up the Pikachu. But it's just a little less consistent than being able to throw them down. They're definitely doing some kind of like charge. It looks like they're going to have like a Magneton coming out. They probably best bet is just throw Pikachu out and hope that I start getting a bunch of tails, honestly. But they're going to go with Electabuzz. See, the thing about having Electabuzz out is we only need 1 more prize to win. And this makes it where we're more likely to knock him out. Whereas Pikachu, we would need the 3 heads. With Electabuzz, we need the 2. But if he evolves it into Electivire, who I think has 130 HP, it's going to change that threshold. But we also have Sabrina, so we can try to pull something out a little weaker. So they've got the Pachirisu EX. I really don't know what they're going to end up doing. Like, the Rocky Helmet is fine for Pachirisu, but it still can't knock us out. They're going to use the charge, it looks like. If they don't have Electivire, yeah, this might just be game, unless we get really unlucky with the Jolteon. So we are going to pop our communications, try and get something going, just in case some nonsense happens. I don't remember everything Electivire can do right off the top of my head, but yeah, there's the Eevee. We'll have it set up in the back. We've got the continuous step. I don't think the Rocky Helmet's going to change anything. We definitely do not want a Sabrina. We'll just go ahead and Pin Missile. And if we can get 2 heads, there's 1, and there's 2. And just like that, Jolteon takes the cake. We'll go ahead and play a couple more. Being able to beat a Pikachu deck, you know, is pretty nice, though. I don't even know... they would have survived had they sent out the Pikachu instead. But on the crackback, they couldn't take us out either. They might have been able to do some X-Speed finagling, but... Yeah, so just like that, this deck kind of took on a pretty decent, consistent deck anyway. Nothing, you know, it's not the top Arceus deck right now or anything Darkrai crazy, but being able to take Pikachu EX out, now the story would have been different had we have went second, or had we went first. But we'll go ahead and send that thanks to Ava, and appreciate our Jolteon for hitting the heads. And we'll hop into one more, see how things are going. We've got plenty of time today. And then we'll go from there. So yeah, I would like to see how Jolteon kind of performs a little later. I think eventually we'll get some really cool support card for Eevee that lets you, like, basically, I'm picturing something like, you know, a trainer card that says pick an Eevee and then attach a energy of any type to it. That way you can kind of mix and match and play some different stuff. We're going to go first. But this is actually part of why I chose the Ambipom. Ambipom being able to attack turn 3 with a potential 80 damage, which is probably the, it's like the difference between having that stage 1 attacker. You see it with like Togetic too, where it's really nice to be able to just attack on the same turn that you evolve and create some pressure. We've got the Skarmory. This is going to be able to deal 50 damage to us, and we have the Eevee, so we've really got a good little hand going. Going to go ahead and hit the research, draw our 2 cards. We've got our Giant Cape and our Cyrus. Both of these are pretty good. We'll get our Eevee set up. I'm actually thinking about not using Eevee. The problem with that, though, is that, honestly, like, Cape plus Giovanni just kills us outright, right? So we will go ahead and put the EV. The reason why I would think potentially not doing it is that we are going to be in a situation where we could get like Sabrina'd out or something, and we don't have the Jolteon. But yeah, we'll go ahead and end there, see what they do with the Skarmory. If they do hit us with the Giovanni plus Poketool combo, then like sometimes they just have it. I liked the steel cards. Adamant is neat, being able to reduce 20 damage on all the damage your steel types take for a turn. It's really funny against like Blizzard. Oh, so they don't have anything going for them. We will probably end up utilizing our Cape. So we could roll 2 heads right now and just win the game, which is pretty funny. It's pretty crazy that could be the case. I doubt we're going to get that lucky though. So we'll flip our 2 coins. Yeah, there's the tails and tails. Okay, sometimes you just deal no damage. It's kind of the Kangaskhan problem. At least we have the no retreat cost. But we could really just get tails and tails and tails every single time and have no chance at winning. So that's the nature of coin flip. It reminds me of the Pokemon trainer deck with Misty and like Palkia or Articuno. Those decks actually still have some teeth depending on what they're playing against. But yeah, so they just sent the Dialga out, who's going to be getting set up on the bench. Great for powering some other stuff up. Luckily for us, they do not have the Poketool yet, so we probably... Oh, and there's Jolteon, so that's pretty good. We'll get our step going. I am going to go ahead and... So we do have a bit of an option. The problem is we can't... We can get Dialga to come in, but they can get something set up on their bench. This isn't necessarily a bad thing because it doesn't look like they have exactly a bunch of stuff right now, and we know that Ambipom will survive. So we're actually going to go ahead and do that, see if we can get some pressure going on the Dialga. Being able to deal 80 damage to it right now would be pretty good. And yeah, this Immersive, by the way, is also very, very pretty. So we'll see if we can get a little bit better of our double hit luck. There's 1 heads and there's 2 heads. So see, it evens out to about 40 damage. Obviously, not being able to pick it. I was a big fan of Dragonite when Dragonite came out, and it was really, really bad. And you just had to wait 4 turns and really hope the energy didn't mess you up. I'm really hoping that Pocket will fix the multi-energy problem because it's really cool to think that there's a deck that could exist that would do better. So, yeah, this is what we were worried about. There's the Arceus. They're going to get it set up. It's going to be able to hit us for 130 next turn, which our deck is not capable of dealing with. Now, because also they use... We don't want to attack into a Rocky Helmet that takes us out. So what we'll probably end up doing is utilizing our Cape. We're going to go here. We have 2 options. We can utilize our Cape to deal some damage and have Dialga sit there. Or... So yeah, so we're going to play it like this. We're going to attack with our Ambipom, utilizing our Cape. We've got the Cyrus in hand. So as long as we can hit 2, we can guarantee kill on the Crackback with Apom. If they do kill our Apom with Arceus, we do have the potential to Jolteon them out of the game, which would be crazy. So we're going to hit this double hit. We're going to hit 1, and we're going to hit 2. So there's 80 damage. This Dialga is not going to stand up to our Apom next turn, which is just humorous to think that the Steel type's just getting knocked out by a bunch of monkeys that are thematically similar to the Jolteon. But yeah, if they attack to finish setting up more of Arceus, we will just kill with the Apom. If they switch out, we'll send Jolteon out, attack the Arceus, and hopefully we can knock it out, and then we'll be able to get them with the Cyrus. But it's not looking like too great for us. They are getting that point advantage early. Basically, they're getting 3 points where we're going to essentially have to get 40, or 4 points because we're having to knock out 2 EXs. So we will send in that Apom. And then we're just going to hope for the Quadra head flip. That's a little bit of an annoying pull, but we can send Apom out. If they're really silly, they might send Skarmory in to be like, look, and that would be really nice because we could just take them out. But we do have the potential to knock them out, so let's Tail Jab, go from there. We knew that, you know, going against such a strong deck, and they had a kind of weak start. Skarmory was just sitting there for a while, but the Apom's not cutting it here, whereas Jolteon could maybe do something a little more. Again, we do have the potential to kind of play to the out and have 4 heads be what takes the Arceus out. I'm hoping that... Oh, so now they're really making us have the 4 heads. But it still doesn't change the math, so, you know, they can just use their Cape if they want. They know we're on Sabrina too. Oh, there's the Sabrina. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much GG. We'll see if we get anything crazy, but they've got double Arceus set up. They've pulled out our only potential hope to knock them out, and they're going to get it. I wish I could pronounce his name, or their name. But yeah, so there's a little fish hook. Giovanni's going to take us out. We've got the Apom. We'll do the last draw, see what they have. And we get the Pokeball. I'm just going to run through my cards real quick. Boop. Eevee. And then we could get into the Ambipom, see what our heads looks like, but then after that we'll dip out of here because there's definitely no way that we're going to take out the Arceus. I mean, when you have the God of Pokemon, dang, and there's the Jolteon, and we can see if we can get back out to that Ambipom. This is the funny thing about communication, is like double communicating into like Eevee, right? It's like, oh, I just wasted 3 cards to do the same thing, and there it is. So yeah, we'll go ahead and concede. Good job to our opponent. They had kind of a rough start, but it did not end up mattering whatsoever. So we'll go into this last one. Hopefully, send our thanks, because that is just, you know, polite. It's what we need to be doing. And yeah, we'll do one more. This is the problem with decks like this. There's always a point where like consistency and consistent damage is just going to beat out the high roll stuff, right? Now the trainer decks are still powerful with Misty, because even if you're not landing the Misty, you're still powering up a Pokemon. And if it's nothing crazy, but we're going to go second. This is going to be pretty good. So it's not the best second start because that would be Eevee, but we can still draw Eevee off of Research plus X Speed, and then we'll get the ideal start for us. There's Farfetch'd, who is weak to our Jolteon, so we could knock it out as long as we get a singular heads. Playing a grass deck with Research, that might be really annoying to deal with. If we're missing and whiffing and they have some kind of healing, like Erica. Oh, so there's Arceus, so they're just playing Grass Energy maybe? Farfetch'd, such a great little beater, and there's the Shaman for the free retreat cost. Such a cool card. Being able to make your 1 cost come out really easily. There's the Giant's Cape. Yeah, so they're just kind of using everything. Do not use your Pokemon tools in situations like this where it doesn't change the math, right? Like, we still have the exact same condition if they don't do anything. We are going to have to, unfortunately, not be able to X-Speed, so we're going to have the slightly worse version of our combo of our start, but we are going to at least be able to get to Ambipom, hopefully, with this other communicator. They don't have a way to take us out. I am going to go ahead and get my Eevees set up, though. We'll be able to get Jolteon set up in 2 turns, and hopefully we can get the Ambipom. It's a 67% chance because we could roll Jolteon, but we'll wait till next turn and see what we pull. 11 cards in our deck. It could be 2 of them, so really 18-ish% chance. We also survive 2 League Slaps from Farfetch'd if we get Ambipom, and so we'll be able to kind of hang out and potentially deal some good damage. Let's see what we draw. That's the Giant's Cape. We really need this communicator to hit. 67% chance. Let's see what we get. Whew, okay, that's exactly what we need. Now we can set up our Eevee over here. We'll Ambipom. I'll leave Jolteon in my hand. Again, it doesn't change anything. We could have Giovanni, which would be annoying. Arceus can deal 110 or 90, so we will save the cape just in case. The Jolteon, he's in a position where he doesn't have enough to only deal 90 damage. We can make it where he has to have that extra threshold. If we get double heads, we knock out Farfetch'd and can create some pressure. So let's see what we get. There's 1. And there's 2. Alright, you just have to hit heads. Like, just always hit heads, and your games in pocket will go so much easier. Doesn't matter what you're doing if you're lucky. That's just an inherent part of card games, is this luck. There's always, like, there's only so many situations where the format is engaging enough where, like, luck isn't such a... Wow, they just surrendered. They shouldn't have done that. No reason to surrender yet. They were just maybe upset that we... just a little upset that we hit them with the coin flips, I guess. But even with the victory that we got, they could have taken us out with that Arceus, just depending on the math. So, also, don't ever just quit. So many times people will just look at a board state, have an answer, and not play to their outs. I mean, some people just want the super easy win, but we'll leave them with a thanks.
And thanks for watching this episode of Pokemon Pocket Roulette.
The next one, hopefully I'll have the audio all squared away, so definitely trying to improve and get better. But yeah, if you enjoyed the show, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you again.